Well, Jacksonville's up 3 on UCA, but their defense is what they hang their hat on, and the Dolphins looking to do that again tonight.
Yeah, Central Arkansas without, more than just a handful of players at this point in the season. They're coming to this matchup shorthanded, but that's why they play the game. They've got a chance. They throw the ball up as we're underway in Conway.
Jacksonville, the opening tip, looking to strike first here at the Ferris Center. Just underway from Conway, Arkansas. Dolphins coming off a win at home their last time out. Starting this one 4 in a row on the road. A little jump hook to begin the contest from Stephon Payne III, rims out.
See who Central Arkansas turns to without Lane Taylor. No Elias Cato. No Braden Fagbemi in the lineup. The answer of late has been Nehemiah Turner, the big man down low as a freshman. We'll see how much of an impact he has in this contest.
Ethan Thomas earned the start due to Fagbemi not being able to go tonight. Gets fouled on that play. That's a good thing you mentioned right there, Bobby. UCA has battled injury upon injury, and it just seems to be keep on getting worse. They lost their starting 5 midway through the year, maybe even from the beginning of the year. 7, 8 players deep now that they're having to go without. It's next man up upon next man up.
I don't even think you can make the argument that it's the top 5 players coming into this season expected to contribute for Central Arkansas is out as McCormick misses that 3. I mean, UCA's essentially coming to this battle with both hands behind their back because they're having to play the rotation 6 through 12 instead of 1 through 9.
Robert McCray, he'll dish it off. The baseline J from Jakari Spence will not go, and it's last touched by the Dolphins. UCA will have it under a little over a minute has elapsed, and neither team's been able to put it home.
It's always tough. This is one of the longest road trips in the conference. You know, Jacksonville's only had to make this trek once to Conway. Maybe settle in, wear off the rust from the travel.
Ben Fox, he'll spot up from 3. He can't get it to go either, so the Bears 0 for 2 from deep to begin the game. Zach Bell, one of the starters in the lineup. Now McCray, his drive was cut off. Spots up, left wing, deep off the backside, no good, and Evagaru the board.
Defense is showing up early for Central Arkansas, forcing tough contested shots for Jacksonville.
A little bit out of control, though. McCormick tried to feed Turner. It's loose, 3 on 2. They tried to go outlet. It's tipped, last touch by Ethan Thomas. They tried to feed to Kendall Munson, the senior in transition.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. 3-on-1 transition break for Jacksonville. In the pass just couldn't be handled. Bailed out by Thomas as that's knocked out of bounds. That should have been an easy deuce for the Dolphins.
Still scoreless. They get it into McCray, into the paint, trying to go to work against Turner. Gets it to go over the big fella. Robert McCray, the 5th, gets the scoring started.
The mask even came down below the eye level for McCray and finds a way to finish.
And then they get the steal from Thomas. Look out! Oh, my! Kendall Munson, look out below!
Thomas really struggling with the pressure of Jacksonville's defense on the last 2 possessions. Back-to-back turnovers to the Bears. That one led to the throwdown.
And Nehemiah Turner, the tallest man on the floor, brings it up. McCormick, hand in his face, trying to get the Bears on the board. It won't go. And this has kind of been the problem we thought, right? You're losing score upon score. UCA defensively feels like they can hang around, but they've got to find a way to score as McCray's 3 won't go.
Central Arkansas is, they're a team that even full strength wanted to live and die by. That's a backcourt violation, another turnover for UCA, just really struggling with that pressure. But they're a team that wants to live and die by the 3-point shot. That's the MO of Coach Shulman and this roster. But when you lose all those leading scorers, which are also all your leading shot makers, and you don't change the philosophy and you continue to launch it up from deep, a lot of times you see these stretches, like here we are, more than 3 minutes into the contest without knocking down a shot.
Central Arkansas's lost 9 of their last 10. Their lone win at home against West Georgia. Jacksonville, they won their last 2. At home against Bellarmine, and then also knocked off Stetson as well. That one's knocked out of play Last touched by Central Arkansas. This is a Jacksonville team that started conference play 7-1, Bobby. Great start. They lost 2 in a row. Florida Gulf Coast at home and then North Florida. And that Florida Gulf Coast game, they felt like it slipped away. They were up 24 points in that contest heading into the second half, and they gave up 51 points. As the shot clock goes off, it'll be a violation and a turnover. Good defense for UCA.
Well, I think that really goes to the volume of the depth of this conference on the men's side. I mean, we saw the conference standings right before we tipped off today. 6 teams within a game of first place in the A-Sun. So that shows that no matter if you've got a 20-point lead at the half, you can't let up. You got to play a full 40 minutes. So you're going to want to pick up a win, especially on the road in this conference. You got to earn it each time out.
For Jacksonville, this is really a must for them. Turner's fouled, driving inside, going one-on-one with Steph Payne. And Nehemiah Turner, he's really enhanced his game really right in front of our own eyes throughout the season. Started out more of a rim protector, a little bit of post guy. Then he started enhancing his scoring. Now he can dribble a little bit there and started backing his man down.
I think the one thing that I've really been impressed with the way Turner has grown as his freshman, he's starting to change his body. He's starting to look like a college basketball player. He's not doesn't have that freshman, that frame, if you will. He's really starting to lean up. He's also starting to trust his strength. You haven't seen a big man in this conference that really can go belly to belly with him and body up down low. He's using that physicality. He's getting better at the foul line. Of course, he misses that first one. He goes 11 of 13 from the stripe the last time out, knocks that one down. He's really starting to round out his game and be a more reliable player for Shulman and company.
He's upped his free throw percentage to 54% now. You're right. So definitely getting on the climb there. That's a part of his game he'd love to elevate. It puts Central Arkansas on the board. They're trailing 4-1 as Robert McCray through the lane. Up, no good, but he's fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line.
That's why McCray is so good. Yes, he can knock down a 3, but he's got that blow-by ability. He can finish with either hand at the rim, draws the contact, can't get the shot to go, but now he's got a chance to earn it at the foul line.
He's a guy, and there's a reason he's caught the eye of a lot of different scouts across the land. He's a 3-level scorer, but he's also a very underrated defender as well. You got to be, right, to get to that next level. But Robert McCray, the 5th, and then also taking to the fact that I think this is cool and something we want to bring up. Robert McCray, the 5th. That's not very often you have the 5th, right? Like that's pretty cool to have that many in a row. So he's a great basketball player, and then he's also the 5th generation.
You mentioned that he can defend, and that's what you have to have at the next level. I know the untrained eye will always say, well, they don't play defense in the NBA until the final 2 minutes. That's not true. Those guys can play at a high level for 48 minutes in the association, and McCray can do it on both ends.
Nehemiah Turner bringing it up again after Ethan Thomas has been having some trouble. He tries to go one-on-one. It's knocked out of play. Good defense from Donovan Rivers. And it's 5-1 Dolphins at our first break. You're watching Atlantic Sun Basketball on ESPN.
Whoa! Okay, it's Eli Manning, and this is a new Easy Squeeze bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch. It's so precise and easy to use, I was able to autograph this. Pick up a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch Easy Squeeze and make every pizza your signature pizza.
BK Melts, wanna warm up, this sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK Melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
It's the return of women's college hoops.
Oh, my!
With the game's brightest stars.
My goodness!
Must-see matchups.
Wow!
And off-the-charts hype. All season long on the networks of ESPN.
Well, Coach Mincy in his 4th season as the head Dolphin, and he has really done an incredible job. 8th all-time in Jacksonville history in wins. Really got things rolling this year. They come into the matchup 15-9 on the year, 9-3 in conference play. After last year finish, they were the 10 seed, made it all the way to the semis in the conference tournament, lost on a last-second shot against Stetson. That would have sent them to the championship game. And the inbounds here will lead to a jump ball. It'll stay with Central Arkansas.
And they've got so much in front of them, does this Jacksonville squad. Tied for first going into the final stretch of the regular season. And they're not only eyeing a run in the ASUN tournament, they're thinking they can do some damage in the big dance.
That's got to be every team's goal, right? But when you got the transfers, the players that they've got moving downhill, straight to the rack, Chris Arias. His first touch of the ball game into the game, and he scores.
Nice job by Arias to finish through some contact at the rim, and now Jacksonville going to apply that pressure. Talking with their sports information director before the game, kind of likened their style to Bob Huggins and what he used to do at West Virginia. This intense half-court basketball, no easy passes, no easy dribbling lanes, and we're starting to see that as the pressure is applied 30 feet from the basket.
Defense wins championships, as they say, right? And that one there was tough for Evagro. The defense smothering. Now they try to push things. And this team runs as Jakari Spence runs, right? He kind of controls things as Robert McCray will kick it out to Spence. Nearly lost it, but McCray will catch it on the pitch out. Through the lane, nice handles. That one's pure on the floater.
You're wanting to start seeing high-level plays. Why is the next level worried about Robert McCray? That's why, because he can get in the lane and finish off balance.
He's a guy that can go get a bucket, right? You got to have guys that can score from anywhere at any time. McCray's the guy. They dump it off to Satius, left alone, spin move, the shovel to Evagro, and it's blocked from behind. Pops out of there right to Satius, and it gets the N1.
It's a great job by the UCA Bears to stick with it. They're struggling with the physicality of Jacksonville in the lane right now. But that time they stay with it, force the turnover, and Satius right place at the right time, absorbs the blow, now a chance for the three-point play.
That's a good job from Satius to stay with it. Good help defense backside. Thought they had the strip. Evagro got his hand on it. That's what allowed that ball to squirt to Satius. And Central Arkansas's first bucket of the game, a chance at the free throw line to make it the old-fashioned three-point play. And they won't be able to convert. Free throws are going to be big down the stretch. Points are going to be hard to come by regardless against this defense. Got to knock down your free throws.
Yeah, it's tough for Central Arkansas, who's already playing shorthanded, but they go the first 5:42 of the contest without knocking down a shot, but they're still within striking distance.
Corner three, Zach Bell in and out, no good. And Central Arkansas the rebound.
Shots aren't falling right now from deep for Jacksonville. 0 for 3 from behind the line.
Satius, the give and go, trying to go straight downhill, and he's fouled on the way through.
Like the aggressiveness that Satius has come in with, a great give and go, attacks the basket, gets the hack on the arm, back to the line.
Couple of free throws now for Satius. Just a 45% free throw shooter coming in. Connects on the first one. Cuts the deficit to 5 now.
San Jose State transfer. Central Arkansas's roster is built mostly of in-state players. Here in the natural state, Jacksonville on the other side loaded up with transfers this year, and that's why you see such a drastic turnaround. We're starting to see that all across college basketball and college athletics these days. Yeah. Just because you're bad one year doesn't mean you have to be bad the next. You can just build it in a hurry with the transfer portal.
That's right. And with the NIL being introduced, you lose players, but the transfer portal can help you giveth and it taketh away.
That's right.
Spence goes down to the paint. They go back out. Spin move. Up and under. Tried to get the shot. They saved it in. Wow. Arias can't get the three ball off in time. That's the second shot clock violation. So UCA's defense holds on that one. Look at the basketball back.
The offense may be struggling for the Bears, but the defense has shown up for the first 6.5 minutes or so in this contest. They're making Jacksonville really work for it. And with the exception of the one run-out bucket, the Dolphins have struggled to get the offense going.
Gotta love the effort for the Bears. Next man up. Defense is where it starts. They've cut the deficit now to 4. Satius looking for the screen. Kicks it out, tipped away by Kent Jackson, the freshman from Jacksonville, hometown kid. Episcopal High School product. He's a good defender as well.
Handful of those on this Jacksonville team. 4 players that played their high school ball in the city of Jacksonville. All from different high schools as well.
They look to trap Nehemiah Turner. McCormick's left alone. Spin move against Rivers, fading away, and it's tipped right at the rim.
That's really athletic play from Donovan Rivers, the 6'9" sophomore. McCormick created space, but he still elevated and got the rejection.
And we're going to have a push underneath against Rivers. Central Arkansas bumped him, so it'll stay with Jacksonville. Take another look. Coach Shulman wanted to get Ethan Thomas into the game. Didn't want to waste a timeout, but he was trying to get him on the floor. Seixas comes out. Jacksonville will inbounds. Spence, the trigger man. Trying to get it into Arias, and it's stolen by Ben Fox. Good defense once again.
This continues that trend in the first 8 minutes of this contest for UCA defense that showed up tonight.
Nehemiah Turner kicks it out. Dearman, he'll launch the three. It won't go. McCormick high to get the board. Trying to pass to Ben Fox. Nobody home, and Arias comes out of there with it. Jacksonville hasn't scored in quite some time. Now Arias, the free throw jumper, and he's nothing but net.
Just create a little space for himself there, and that one was pure from top of the key. Into the stretch of 3 consecutive errant shots for the Dolphins.
UCA gone scoreless for nearly 2 minutes now. Feed to Turner. Puts it on the floor, and it's taken away. Munson out of there with it. Jacksonville in transition. Arias wants another three. It won't go. Big rebound, but then it's blocked from behind by Nehemiah Turner. Jackson tracks it down, and he buries the triple.
Kent Jackson left wide open, but the UCA bench was begging for a call there. A lot of contact in the lane. Bodies hitting the floor. No whistle led to the triple.
And now Jacksonville, their largest lead of the evening at 9. Turner trying to go to work through contact, and he's fouled by Rivers. 11-11 remaining in the first half. Dolphins up by 9 on UCA. Will step aside. You're watching Central Arkansas and Jacksonville for the Ferris Center.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above, where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark, where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness, where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. Join us, because we're not just a stop along the journey. The Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Take on college at UCA,
where community starts on campus and the world is waiting right outside your door.
This is excellence made affordable.
Take on top programs that turn into real careers.
Because Central is more than our name. It's our place and yours.
So be a leader.
Blaze a trail.
Work, play, perform.
UCA has everything.
So you can take on anything.
The University of Central Arkansas.
This is Jacksonville University. It's not just a perfect place for sunny waterfront beauty shots. Although, here you choose the future you want. How? By defining it yourself. You customize your path and make it one of a kind. You want to build a future where you decide what impact you make? You want to create a life that's limited by nothing but your own ingenuity? You come to the right place.
Well, it's the first year of the John Shulman era here at Central Arkansas, and started out pretty promising when you get 2 in-state kids, highly touted recruits in Ty Robinson, Lane Taylor, a lot of other good freshman transfers, but then the injury bug hit, and John Shulman has had quite the adversity to overcome, but he's had such high praise around the game of basketball. Jay Billis had some high praise to say about Coach Shulman, said there's not anyone he respects more in the game. It's my praise from a guy that's pretty high up in this game.
Yeah, this is not exactly the roster he's expected to have late in the season. You mentioned Lane Taylor, Ty Robinson, but Elias Cato's been out the last couple weeks. Braden Fagbemi now sidelined with back spasms. And you're going through a who's who of the roster for Central Arkansas. Not even to mention Javion Guy King was likely the most touted player coming back from last year's roster, out for the entire season. Another in-state product right down the road at Little Rock Mills. It's not the roster you expected to have for Central Arkansas in this rebuild, which is going to be a pretty big project, as the Bears have struggled throughout history since they moved up to Division I.
Sure, and then you sprinkle in the fact that at the beginning of the year, you're one of the youngest teams, only a senior and a junior, and then the rest are sophomore and freshmen. Throw in the injuries as well. It's just been too tough to overcome.
And you look at just how good the league is this year, the balance at the top. What a block by Turner. But how balanced the league is. You know, it's so there are no off nights. You know, with the exception of Bellarmine, you could probably throw UCA in that conversation. In West Georgia, there's no gimmies in this league.
Just like there's no gimmies to go up and get a bucket, Nehemiah Turner gets up big and rejects that one. He's had a couple in back-to-back sequences. That's a player that has really elevated his game. Bright future for that young man.
Really like how he's played the last 3 weeks. Shows what sometimes all you need is an opportunity to play if UCA forces a turnover underneath.
Ethan Thomas gets the steal on that inbound. Spence was shocked. He thought he had an opening, and then Thomas snuck in there and took it away for the turnover. Just the fourth giveaway of the game for Jacksonville.
Turner's got to be the one bright spot during this rough stretch for Central Arkansas. The extended minutes, more than 20 a game. He's getting some run, better than 60% from the field in the last 5. Really rounding out his game. He can handle the basketball a little bit as well. I think he's going to be a good one in the future for UCA.
Bears have cut the deficit to 7. Zimi Wokeji has checked in the game for the first time for the Dolphins. He's guarding Nehemiah Turner. Going to work. The hook, no.
No tens.
And they're going to give it to Central Arkansas. That one off the glass, then it was blocked.
It's Nehemiah Turner making this look smart right there. Goes up and finishes, and they're saying that ball was on its way down.
Yep.
And that's why Turner's credit to the basket. Shows the agility of the spin move and the finish in the lane.
So Central Arkansas now cut the deficit to 5. And Nehemiah Turner's got 5. They'll foul Kent Jackson out high. Area setting to check back in now for the Dolphins.
Calling a little tighter than we've seen in past conference games. Jacksonville's already got 16 fouls in this first 10 minutes of play, so UCA is going to be at the foul line the rest of the way.
UCA just committing their 3rd team foul, so they've got a few to give. Robert McCray looking to work things for his offense. UCA in that man-to-man. Shot clock winding down. McCray going to have to go to work. Fades away. Hand in his face. Won't go. Battle for the board, and Turner's got it.
UCA is continuing to hang around because of their defense, and that's the one thing Jacksonville can't afford to do. We've talked about how big this 4-game stretch is in the next 8 days. Maybe overlooking UCA in this one.
Jacksonville's going to find out exactly who they are. Just about 8 days, right? They got a tough road slate late in the conference season. It'll either make you or break you. It's Kent Jackson. Pops back for 3, and he sinks it.
Jackson was looking to knock one down from the Bear head near midcourt, but shot fake, step closer, and still buries the triple. Quick timeout as the Dolphins' second 8-point lead.
UCA been playing pretty good defense up to that point, kind of climbing back a little bit, but all it takes is a couple of big shots. Jackson's had a couple now. Look at this one.
It's a great job to use the shot fake, the ball screen, get a little closer, and he tickles the twine with the 3 from the left wing.
Well, with that made bucket, Jackson's now 2 for 2 from three-point land, 2 for 2 in the game. He leads all scorers with 6 points. That's all it takes.
We're expecting McCray to come in and dominate this game, maybe Wokoji, but instead it's Jackson knocks out a couple triples. You need that. That's what good teams get. They get a spark from somebody else who isn't maybe necessarily that star player come in and spark the offense and get things going for the rest of your roster.
Well, all things considered, UCA trailing by 8 on 2 of 10 shooting. That's 20%. Jacksonville shooting 44% from the field thus far. Could be a lot worse, all things considered. UCA getting to the free throw line, and that's what's helped them stick around a little bit here in the early onset. Glory Etim into the game for the first time now for the Bears. They'll hand it off to Satius, who launches the three, and McCormick's there for the offensive rebound.
Central Arkansas now 0 of 6 from the three-point line.
Well, we saw them have a 1 of 21 night against Queens earlier last week. McCormick off the screen, going straight to the rack, up and under, can't get the friendly roll. And now the Bears are 2 of 12 for the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've seen a lot of this from Central Arkansas of late. It's almost like there's a lid on the basket. You feel like they just cannot get any kind of flow going offensively.
Give credit to the Dolphins, smothering things a little bit. Well, KG launches that one, and he gets it to go.
And McCormick a hand right in the face, and KG having none of it. Knocks down another three. Dolphins lead out to double digits.
Largest of the game now, 20-9 for Jacksonville. Etim trying to go to Vagaru. Got some space, floats it up, unkind on the bounce, and it rims out.
Yeah, just missed shots in the lane, and Vagaru did a nice job of taking the contact, and McCray tries to finish on the other end, but another example of those shots, JV, just not going down. Point-blank range for Vagaru for UCA. Can't get the fall in the hoop.
You were thinking exactly what I was thinking. That shot from McCray should have gone down. It almost did.
Yeah.
They go lob it to Evagru. They double. The help defense is there, and Evagru, little rainbow over the rim, headed the other way. This is a team that, if you ask Coach Mensah, he doesn't like to push the tempo, as that three won't go. He likes defense, lower scoring games, as we learned, but the way this pace of this game has gone, fast pace, Satius trying to take advantage. He'll enter the free throw line. When we come back, 7:15 to play in the half, it's Dolphins up early.
You just can't beat a post-game burger at McDonald's, right? And you can't beat the Angel Reese special. All right, let's break it down. It's a quarter pounder with my favorite barbecue sauce, American cheese, crispy bacon, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun. Get the Angel Reese special at McDonald's. What are you waiting for?
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid, from the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a $309 per month lease on a 2025 Civic Sport Hybrid sedan.
Whoa! Okay, it's Eli Manning, and this is a new Easy Squeeze bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch. It's so precise and easy to use, I was able to autograph this. Pick up a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch Easy Squeeze and make every pizza your signature pizza.
Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm. Easy to grip and massage, and the power of 2 max strength pain relievers. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Well, welcome back to the Ferris Center. JB Brazil alongside Bobby Swafford, the rest of our ESPN Plus crew. It's 20-9, Dolphins up by 11. There's a look at the head women's basketball coach at Central Arkansas, head coach Tony Kemper. He has got things rolling in year 2. They look one of the best in the league.
You got to believe he likes coming to the office, as he's never lost in this building as the head coach. 21-0 over the last 2 seasons. They're a game out of first place after a convincing win last night here on their home floor.
And that was a game against a good North Alabama team you thought might be a trap game. They took care of business. Here's a look at Satius driving in right before the media timeout. And I'm telling you right now, free throws are going to be the MO for Central Arkansas. You know, Shulman knows that 3 balls are going to be hard to come by. He wants them to go straight to the rack, maybe try to earn more at the free throw line than they have in games past.
They need to be aggressive this final 7 minutes as they're already in the bonus. Have to take advantage of that.
Only foul trouble thus far is KG and Bell, both with 2 personals. Arias thought about the corner. Now he floats it up, and he's fouled inside the lane. He'll head to the charity stripe for a couple.
That's where the 3-point line has been so important for Jacksonville. They've knocked out a couple early, and the shot fake in the corner allows a little bit of a driving lane. Gets a trip to the foul line.
Arias, a 71% free throw shooter, but he can't connect on the first. And he can't connect on the second either. 0 for 2 for Arias. Very uncharacteristic. DJ Satius trying to feed Turner. A little mismatch. Fox wants the triple, and he knocks it down.
Had to put a little extra arch on that, did Ben Fox, as McCray was closing out, but the first one rattles home. Finally get one to fall from deep.
That's a player that Central Arkansas really wants to get going, certainly from the perimeter, is Ben Fox. McCray trying to answer, bullseye.
What a big answer from the masked man. UCA and the crowd starting to creep back into it when McCray, right in front of the UCA bench, knocks one down.
And then he gets the steal. Got a 2-on-1 if he wants it. Nice feed, but it's lost out of play. Rivers coming in too hot, couldn't handle it.
When you've got the 6'9" Rivers down low, maybe you like to see that pass go up towards the rim instead of down low where the big man has to go try to dig it out. The time just goes out of bounds and an unforced turnover.
It was the 38th steal of the season for Robert McCray V. And he has eclipsed the 1,000-point mark in his career as Robert McCray V. That's a pretty awesome feat. That's a very, very big club to join, and he keeps making it rain. Triple that time.
He's starting to climb to 2,000 now as Robert McCray hits another one from deep. And I feel like the 1,000-point number maybe doesn't quite get us quite enough recognition at the college level as it likely should. Really, the dawn of social media, you see it at the high school level all the time. But 1,000 points in college basketball is pretty impressive.
Oh, it's so tough to do. That's a hallowed group right there. There's not very many that can say they've done that, especially at the D1 level. Nehemiah Turner getting into his bag off the window.
Nice job by Turner to use that physicality. Muscles himself down low, uses the window for safety.
McCray leads all scorers with 11. But Nehemiah Turner's got 7. He paces the Bears. They go the switch now. Satius guarding McCray. He'll step back. Too strong on the triple.
The quickness from McCray can just create a shot when he looks like he's well guarded. The step back there didn't go down.
They look to trap out high. Ball fake. Ben Fox, the 3, and he buries it.
Back-to-back triples from Fox in that corner. Jacksonville's going to have to get the sharpshooter from Little Rock Christian off the spot.
Cuts the deficit to 7. Now underneath in the baseline. They'll get the foul underneath. Munson got bumped. They'll give that one to Cole McCormick, his second, and Vagaru checks back in. So does Kent Jackson. Kent Jackson already tying a career high with 6 points in the game. He's done that 5 times this year. Any more points from Kent Jackson will be a new career high for the youngster.
Going back on the other end, Ben Fox has been the obvious bright spot. We've seen him heat up at different times for this Central Arkansas squad. Had a game when he hit 5 3-pointers earlier this season in conference play. UCA needs big production out of him as he's got to step up as his fellow guards are unavailable.
They tried to get the cut to Spence. Munson too far in front. Another turnover. That's the 6th of the game. UCA riding a 5-0 run right now. 3 of their last 4. Trying to go on a run here and continue things as we get near the final media of the first half. They trap Satius again out on. And Vagru, baseline, tried to cut. Dearman threw it away. Spence has got it. The feed to Munson, left hand, and it gets it to go in transition.
That's a great job by Munson to be the trailer on the fast break opportunity. Beats the defense down the floor. His teammate recognizes it. Easy lay-in at the rim.
Central Arkansas's never led the game, but they trailed as much as 11. Turner trying to go inside. It'll be knocked out of play. Last touched by the Dolphins. Getting late in the first half. It's Jacksonville up 9.
From the bluegrass of Kentucky, the Arkansas River, to the beautiful beaches of Florida. From the bustling streets of Nashville to the soulful sounds of Muscle Shoals and its vibrant cities. Fueled by growth, the Atlantic Sun operates in the fastest growing region in America and broadcasting in over 20 million homes. We're everywhere you want to be, with access to 9 of the nation's top 80 media markets, including an impressive 6 in the top 50. Our 12 member institutions provide every collegiate experience, from public to private to faith-based. All of our member institutions are located in the top 30 states with the most rapid growth, including 8 members located in the top 6. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination. The A-Sun Men's Basketball Championship is back, starting March 2nd. Watch as the best teams in the conference battle it out for the ultimate prize. Non-stop action. Incredible plays.
Perfect set.
And unforgettable moments.
From half court. He hit it.
The A-Sun Men's Basketball Championship starts March 2nd, only on ESPN+.
Well, when you talk about scoring, who else would it be? Robert McRae leads the way with 11. He averages 16.5 per game, and he's almost there. Kent Jackson, career high, at least tying his career high. He's got 6, and then Arias adds with 4 points for the Dolphins. For Central Arkansas, it's Nehemiah Turner, our player to watch, 7 points thus far. Ben Fox with a couple of big triples. That's been huge to keep UCA around, and then DJ Seixas with 6 as well. It's going to be important for UCA, certainly at home, to try to inch back closer before the half. Dolphins going to try to keep them from doing that as they get the steal on the inbounds. Spence, he wants to run, got an open lane, and he floats it in downhill.
That's a 10-second sequence you want to forget if you're a UCA coach. John Shulman, you turn it over on the inbounds underneath your own basket, and then you don't stop the basketball. 1-on-5, easy lay-in.
Oh, and Dearman, bullseye from the corner 3.
Another in-state product for Central Arkansas. The Bentonville native gets into the scoring act. Hits a 3 from the corner.
A little bit of a makeup, right? He was the trigger man that kind of threw that ball away on the previous sequence. Returns with a triple. That was Spit. And the Dolphins now up by 8. Jackson looking for a screen. No bounce pass. Nice feed to Munson. Gets the friendly roll. High percentage looks. And Munson puts it home.
That's the difference between a senior and a freshman. Munson just uses his strength. Pushes off Dearman. Gets a wide open lay-in.
Turner got a mismatch with Jackson, but Jackson bodied him. Kept him from getting it. The kick to Fox. Nothing but net from the corner. Ben Fox, a big 3.
Ben Fox is making a living right in front of the Jacksonville bench in the corner. Count them up. 1, 2, 3 3-pointers.
And Ben Fox lighting it up. He's excited. Ignites the bench. Ignites the defense. A turnover there. UCA's got it back. They trail by 7, and Coach Mincy wants a timeout. Take another look here. The kick out to Ben Fox.
It's great recognition from Turner to realize he's got the double team. That means somebody's wide open, and Ben Fox, nothing but net from the corner.
Well, 2:17 remains until halftime. Jacksonville undefeated on the road in conference play. They've played a lot of really tough competition early in the year. Knocked off a good Virginia Tech team who's in the middle of the pack in the ACC. Central Arkansas felt like at this point in the year, if everybody had stayed healthy, that they felt like they'd be fighting for a top, at least a top half part of the bracket in the conference tournament. On the other side, they have injuries, and now they're just fighting to make the tournament.
They are, and they knew that this was going to be the foundational year for Coach Schulman to rebuild this basketball program at Central Arkansas. I like to use the analogy, you can't build a pyramid without a solid base. And that first year usually is it, but also carrying those granite stones have worn out the Central Arkansas team. A lot of injuries have mounted up, and now they're just fighting to get into the tournament, currently tied for that last spot with West Georgia. They do have the tiebreaker currently. But these stretches that right here, you can see glimpses of it. You know, Ben Fox has hit 3 threes in this half. When they're shooting the ball well, which has been rare, unfortunately, for the Bears, when they shoot it well, they can play with anybody. They've already trailed by 12 in this one. They've quickly gotten back into the contest. But for Jacksonville, they're letting the Bears hang around, and that's the last thing you want to do when you're tied for first place, and every game is so important from here on out.
That's why you saw head coach Jordan Mincy lighting into his team there on the bench in the timeout. Didn't like what he saw from the defense as UCA now 5 of their last 6 shooting. Baseline pass to Dearman, back to Turner. Good ball movement, gets his defender in the air, and then he's fouled. That's a really nice play from Nehemiah Turner. Good ball movement to get it there.
Yeah, it's really good recognition there by Dearman. Finds a wide open Turner, uses the ball fake, gets the defender in the air a couple times, and might have been a clean block there, but he draws the foul, and Turner back to the strike.
It's the 8th team foul against the Dolphins. Doesn't matter, it's a shooting foul. So Turner knocks down the first free throw, cuts the deficit to 6. He's got 8 on the evening. Ben Fox with 3 triples leads the way for UCA with 9. Turner tried to join him, but he can't connect on the second free throw.
Yeah, that's a huge improvement, though, what Turner was the first 65, 70% of the season. 4 of 6 from the stripe tonight, 11 of 13 last time out. Really improving his game.
Payne's going to hand it off to Robert McCray. Fades away on the step back, off the front rim, no. And UCA a chance with a 3, could cut it back to a 1-possession game. They look to trap Satius. Boy, might have got away with the travel. Now Turner through the lane. He's swatted away from behind by Payne, but he stays with it. UCA, the shot clock won't reset. They'll have to move pretty quickly. Down to 6. Fox got to get rid of it. Dearman, hand in his face, 3. It's going to be deflected and a shot clock violation. Good defense for Jacksonville.
Really impressive defensive possession there from the Dolphins. Probably their best of the night. Forcing tough shots and get credit for 2 block shots on that possession. One in the lane on Turner, and then we're at the shot clock, and they blocked a 3-pointer from Dearman.
Now Robert McCray leading things ahead for the Dolphins. With a minute to play in the half, Jackson. They'll swing things around. Into the paint. Or on the edge to Munson. Now back to Arias. Trying to lob entry. Tipped away. They kicked it out. That was Payne. Too tall for Arias. The 8th turnover of the game. Now for Jacksonville and UCA, a chance to go for a 2-for-1 if they move quickly. But more than anything, they want to make sure they have a good offensive possession.
Yeah, certainly not the opening half to this 4-game stretch for Jacksonville. That's going to be critical to the result of their season. Not how you want to start it. But Central Arkansas and their fans have to like how the Bears have competed with a team that's tied for first in the conference for the first 19 minutes.
Satius content to milk some clock. Tried to feed to Turner. It's tipped out of play. It'll stay with Central Arkansas. Good defense from Payne to knock it away. Dearman trying to get it inbounds. He will to Satius.
Work quickly.
Yeah, you do. Under 10 now on the shot clock. They've been doubling out high on Satius all game. Turner trying to go to work. Nice spin move. Up and under, and he's fouled. For a big fella, he certainly knows how to draw things. Really good job of getting in and absorbing the contact.
A lot of times you'll see this out on the perimeter, but look right here. He kind of hooks underneath the defender's arm and creates that contact. Likely not going to get his shot to fall when you do that, but you automatically draw attention to skin on skin. That's going to be a foul every time. And he's back to the foul line. Turner now for free throws number 7 and 8 in the first half.
Not terrible defense from Payne, right? Because he's got his elbows, his arms up. Turner goes underneath his elbow and goes up and draws that.
As soon as that defender drops the arm, though, the offensive players that started in the NBA, it's trickled down to college. As soon as offensive players see that, they know to create the contact to get themselves some free shots at the line.
Well, with the second free throw from Turner, UCA's cut the deficit to 5, and Jacksonville likely holding for the final shot. And Jakari Spence going to set up some offense. The grad transfer from Robert Morris. They go to McCray, their playmaker, lost it momentarily, going to have to get it off. Arias at the horn, too strong, and the Bears climb back. It was ugly early. Dolphins, you feel like they're an easy team to come in and knock off. Well, they flex their muscle a little bit, and they say, hey, we're going to hang around. They're not going to make it so easy. Jacksonville catching wind of that as they are only up 5 at the break as we begin the second half of action. McCray with the basketball, already got 11. Now Spence, the elbow jumper, rattles it home, and the lead's back to 7 for Jacksonville.
That's a really good possession coming out of the half for Jacksonville. Nice setup play. Rattles one home from the elbow.
They like that high ball screen with Satius. It leaves Turner alone. Lobs it up through contact. Good defense from Steph Payne, forces the miss.
Sometimes I think Turner falls in love with the shot fake. Sometimes you just need to go up immediately. That shot fake cost himself a little bit better angle at it.
That jump shot no good. You're right. I think Turner almost plays sometimes like he's a guard and forgets how tall he is. And hey, you got the advantage. Go up strong, draw a foul that way. No, he does have guard handles. I'll give him that. Magaru through the lane, right hand off the window, and he's into the scores column for the first time tonight.
Nice job by Magaru. He struggled in the lane in the first half and comes in. Nice spin move in the paint. Easy finish.
Jakari Spence trying to set up the offense. They're trying to get Steph Payne into the scoring column. He's been held in check tonight. Left wing, triple, knocks it down. Zach Bell, his first points of the night.
That's a big shot there for Jacksonville. The UCA crowd is starting to get into it, and the Dolphins hit a 3.
Zach Bell's been on the bench a good bit because of foul trouble. He's got 2. One of 3 players for the Dolphins with 2 fouls in that first half. Bell, Payne, and Wokeji. And Nehemiah Turner trying to go body up against Munson. It's big on big. High off the glass, Nehemiah Turner wins the deuce.
That's a great job by Turner. Gets the defender going one way.
And then a roll of steam straight ahead for Steph Payne. Beats him up the floor for the easy put in.
Yeah, Turner gets the easy lay-in, but they're getting back on defense. Central Arkansas beat down the floor. Negates the offensive possession.
If you can get those easy points like that, that's what Coach Mincy loves from his guys. Nice feed. Satius off the curl all alone, and that's an easy bucket.
It's a great job by Turner to use his body as the screen, the great dish, and the assist.
39-33 will step aside. Central Arkansas only trails by 6.
Whoa! Okay, it's Eli Manning, and this is a new easy squeeze bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch. It's so precise and easy to use, I was able to autograph this. Pick up a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch Easy Squeeze and make every pizza your signature pizza.
BK melts, wanna warm up, this sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm. Easy to grip and massage in the power of 2 max strength pain relievers. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
We've seen some good defense in tonight's matchup between the Dolphins and Bears. 3 blocks for the Dolphins, 1 for Central Arkansas. Shooting's favored Jacksonville. They've made 6 more shots than UCA, but the Bears have gone to the line a little bit more. 3-point shooting, it's been falling for both teams a little bit. It's McCray back to action amongst the trees, floats it over and in.
A lot of contact there. McCray was looking for the call. This shows how tough he is in the lane.
And then Satius a little bit out of control, turns it over, the 11th giveaway of the game for UCA.
Those are the miscues you can't have if you're Central Arkansas. Shooting just 38%, you can't compound that issue with 11 turnovers.
As a team, they average 12.1 per game. So a little bit over their average. Spence, little jump step, high, arcing shot won't go. But Munson trying to track down the offensive board, and he'll do so as it's off of McCormick. It'll stay with Jacksonville.
A lot of those turnovers for Central Arkansas came in the first half when they struggled to adjust to that pressure. Out 25, 30 feet away from the basket, and Central Arkansas's made some changes to the guard position. They've handled the pressure a little bit better since that opening stretch.
Both teams have been a little bit sloppy. Jacksonville only averages 13 turnovers a game. They've got 8 thus far, so they're a little bit over halfway to their mark. UCA naturally doesn't turn it over a ton, but they've done so tonight. They trail only by 8. Jacksonville trying to extend that lead out a little bit with Robert McCray. The elbow fader is too strong, and Ben Fox the rebound.
Might have gotten away with a little push off there, did McCray, but created some space, but too strong on the jumper.
They've been liking that little dribble handoff. Satius, the finger roll, and they left him alone.
Yeah, I think they thought Satius was going to settle for the jump shot there, and he goes up and under. Easy lay-in for the Portugal native.
The transfer from San Jose State having a great game. 6-point lead again for Jacksonville. Bell. They'll swing things around, try to go entry. Turner gets the steals. It's tipped away. He's having a great night. He's got 5 assists, drawn 4 fouls. Big in the scoring column as well, Nehemiah Turner.
Payne's got to do a better job of making sure Turner doesn't jump that pass. But credit to the UCA big man who forces the turnover.
Right at 16 to play. Dolphins up 6. Getting fun in the Ferris. We'll be right back.
This is Jacksonville University. It's not just a perfect place for sunny waterfront beauty shots. Although, here you choose the future you want. How? By defining it yourself. You customize your path and make it one of a kind. You want to build a future where you decide what impact you make? You want to create a life that's limited by nothing but your own ingenuity? You come to the right place.
The A-Sun Men's Basketball Championship is back, starting March 2nd. Watch as the best teams in the conference battle it out for the ultimate prize. Non-stop action.
Two-hand stop,
incredible plays,
perfect set,
and unforgettable moments.
From half court, he hit it!
The A-Sun Men's Basketball Championship starts March 2nd, only on ESPN+.
Thanks for tuning in to some Thursday night basketball. JB Brazil, Bobby Swafford, the rest of our crew, glad you're with us. 16 minutes even to play in the contest. Dolphins led by as much as double digits there in the first half, but UCA's just never gone away, Bobby.
They've hit just enough big shots to keep them close. Defense has showed up for the first 25 minutes or so also for Central Arkansas. That's why they've got a chance for the upset here at home.
Thomas driving in, gives it off to Turner. Now with the shot clock winding down, he didn't realize it. That's a violation. You could tell, though, the MO has changed a little bit for UCA here in the second half. They're settling inside. They're not shooting threes as much. They're trying to get into the paint, changing things up because they're a team that lets the three fly in bunches.
Yeah, start to work that inside-out game. They're starting to understand that Turner is a force for them that they can use offensively. Work through him and wait for the double team to come and rely on him to find the open shooters.
They'll kick it out. KG, the triple try off the mark, can Turner the board.
Big board by Turner. It's his fifth.
Turner's just doing a little bit of everything. He's had his hand in all aspects of this game, nearly traveled with it, able to get it off.
He's working hard down low. He's trying to get that one-on-one matchup that they like.
Cole McCourt trying to get into the scoring column. Up and under, no, and he's fouled by KG. If it is, that's number 3 on him.
McCormick tries to use the rim as the protector. Goes up and under. And there's the hack. Can't get it to fall, but he's got a chance to get in the scoring column at the foul line.
And a chance to get UCA the closest they've been since early in the first half. Free throws are going to be big for UCA. Both teams certainly, but Central Arkansas trying to get to the free throw line. Create points that way, and McCormick misses the first.
That's been one of the biggest differences between these two teams up to this point. Central Arkansas after that one, 9 of 14 from the stripe. Jacksonville just 1 of 4.
Kendall Munson, the senior from Seattle, transfer from Portland State, checking back in for the Dolphins as McCormick goes 1 of 2 and cuts the lead to 5.
It's a big stretch here for both these squads, but especially Jacksonville. So that 12-minute timeout, they've got to get some offense going. Can't let UCA hang around, and they're going to get Thomas with the flop.
Well, backing his way in was Munson. Thomas hit the deck. Take another look.
17, Thomas. That's his third personal foul. First team foul in the second half.
There's some contact there. Munson's got the clear size advantage. I think the officials thought the flop was a little bit embellished there by Thomas, and that's why the call goes against him.
They go inbounds now to Bell. Spins away, lost it, gets it back. And now he feeds it underneath, and he's rejected by Nehemiah Turner. It'll be out of bounds off the Dolphins.
Turner is just playing with more and more confidence with what he does on the offensive end, and then a little return to sender on this end.
Nehemiah Turner met him right up in the air and said, not today. Turner's having a great game. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, couple of blocks.
And he can run the point.
Also got a steal, too. Yeah, that's not
How
that
about
often.
an assist? Add one to it. Wow.
McCormick left alone. He's got 3 points now on the dish from Turner, and Turner's 11 it. Bears are within 1 possession now. Munson going inside. He's fouled by Ben Fox. Good job from Kendall Munson to recognize he had a little bit of an opening and draws the foul.
It's the closest Central Arkansas's been in quite some time. Munson recognized momentum starting to go way of the home side. Just attack the basket, draws the foul. And just the 3rd trip to the foul line for Jacksonville tonight.
But can we go back to Nehemiah Turner and his handles, right? Lane Taylor, Fagbemi have been your everyday point guards. Due to injury, they're not there. Thomas comes in. I think Coach Shulman might have found his point guard there, Bobby.
Well, more importantly, what they're seeing is Jacksonville's pressure has really caused problems for the Central Arkansas guards tonight. Right. You force your big man to bring it up. They're letting Jacksonville's bigs defend him. They're sagging off, kind of take that pressure, which is the MO of Jacksonville, away from them.
I think that's what makes Turner impressive, right? Especially when he handles the point like you're talking about. There's not a lot of fives that can guard that. So he's a mismatch a lot of times. UCA's utilizing it, and it's allowed them to climb back in this thing. Munson with a second free throw, and he gets them both. The lead's back to 5 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, one thing we may pay attention to is see if Jacksonville doesn't run a second defender at Turner the next time that Central Arkansas tries to have him bring the ball up.
Michael Evagaru into the game with 2 points. It's been important to get everybody into the scoring a little bit for Central Arkansas. They double Seixas, and it leads to chaos. The turnover, McCray to Bell, up and under, and he kisses it off the glass.
That's a great job by Bell to use the Euro there, create some space, use the rim as a personal protector, and finishes on the other side.
Now Seixas picks up his dribble. Bears looking for some offense, trying to go to Turner. It's tipped, he maintains. Bounce pass to Evagaru, and he's met at the rim and rejected. But Donovan Rivers was out of bounds when he touched it. So it'll stay with Central Arkansas.
Yeah, great look by Turner, but Evagaru thought he had an easy flush. But Jacksonville had not one but 2 defenders thinking otherwise.
That's a great camera look there. Our camera crew all over that one. You can see his foot was clearly out of bounds. That's a great work right there, huh?
That's why they get paid the big bucks around here.
Well, we were afraid that Michael Deere was going to have to play in the game. He's brought on a good crew, camera crew, the whole production. The ball bouncing towards us over here on the sideline, out of play.
We're out of eligibility on press row here, so that pass to nobody.
That's a good thing, at least for me. Now you, on the other hand, Bobby, a good standout basketball player in your time.
Yeah, back in the day. It's back when they had to use the ladder to get the ball out of the peach basket after each made shots.
Dolphins up 7, trying to extend it. McCray, the kick to Arias. Too strong on the 3. Bears trying to retaliate. They've gone 1 of their last 5. In the paint now, Turner. Trying to go to work against Munson. They've been bodying back and forth. Fades away. It's short. Tipped around loose basketball. Bell's got it. Outlet to McCray. Tried to feed it backwards to Bell. A little too hot, too tall. And the turnover gives it back to UCA.
Yeah, if you're McCray, you got to go up and finish that. I know he's trying to look for the assist on his cutting teammate, but you know, a player of his caliber, a top 50 prospect for the NBA draft, you got to go up there and finish that at the rim.
And you talk about his draft stock, right? If he indeed gets drafted, he would be the first player in Jacksonville history since 1992 when Tim Burrows was drafted by the Timberwolves. There's not very many players at this level that get drafted, at least that stay at the school, right? A lot of times they're transferring. In this case, McCray transferring from Wake Forest down to Jacksonville. Evagaru, the 3, rims out, and McCray high to get the board. Trying to push it. McCray, back-to-back plays, trying to go a little too fast, perhaps. He's frustrated with himself. He knew a moment ago it was his fault. That time, the window just closed. Give Seixas good defense there to tip it away.
UCA's defense is just not giving in to Jacksonville. They forced 10 turnovers. Nothing coming easy. Even though McCray has 13, no other player has more than 8.
Trying to go one-on-one with Owen Dearman. McCray. They get him doubled. They find it. Underneath Munson, left-hand hook. Unkind, and we'll have a foul from behind. Looks like that one on Ben Fox, the push.
Well, Fox didn't have position there for the rebound and got a little too physical. It's a great job by Munson to attack the basket, attack the glass, and try to get that offensive rebound. Draws the foul.
They're going to say the push occurred before the tip. And so it'll be on the floor. McCray will run the trigger. It's the no look in to Payne. Now McCray up and under, feeds it to Payne. Steph Payne from close, can't get it once, but the second try, bingo.
It's a great job by Payne to stick with it. That's another opportunity you like to see McCray try to finish at the rim, being a little too unselfish, if that's possible.
Now Glory Etim into the post to give Nehemiah Turner a break. They'll hand off Fox. He is smothered by Robert McCray. Shot clock winding down. Got to go to work with 4 to shoot. Evagaru bodying against Munson. High off the glass. Tough finish from Evagaru. My goodness.
Nice job by Evagaru to not only to muscle through with the contact, but understand how much time was left on the shot clock.
Arias, 3-ball bingo.
I mentioned the stretch until the 12-minute timeout, which we're still waiting on, was going to be so big for Jacksonville. The lead got cut to his fault, a little 3, I believe. Big run right here by the Dolphins.
And now Jacksonville's up by 10. And the Bears struggling to score against this howling defense. Evagaru high again against Steph Payne, and Evagaru another one.
Back-to-back finishes in the lane by Evagaru.
Now Arias trying to drive inside, trying to give it to Payne. It's loose, but it'll be last touched by Central Arkansas on the baseline. And we will step aside halfway through the second half. It's Dolphins up 8.
Whoa! Okay, it's Eli Manning, and this is a new easy squeeze bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch. It's so precise and easy to use, I was able to autograph this. Pick up a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch Easy Squeeze and make every pizza your signature pizza.
BK Melts, wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK Melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
It's the return of women's college hoops.
Oh, my!
With the game's brightest stars. Must-see matchups. And off-the-charts hype. All season long on the networks of ESPN.
Robert McCray leads the way for Jacksonville, 13 points, but what may be more impressive is the ability to get rebounds, assists. He's got 5 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block. There's a reason he's on draft boards. He does it all. His defense is incredible. He's a scorer through and through, and he's also a field general a little bit too. He knows how to find his teammates.
He's stuffing the stat sheet. There's no question about it. That's why a lot of people think he's that full all-around player. He played defense as well. He's got a chance to play basketball at the pro level, which is always the ultimate dream.
He tries to lob it in. He'll get it in. Jackson, corner 3, career high, and he buries the 3-ball.
He had a pair of threes in that first half, did Jackson, and that time UCA loses track of him. He hits one in the corner.
And now the Dolphins switching things up defensively to a zone. They want to force things. Dearman, high, arcing 3. It's too strong.
Trying to take away that threat of Turner down low, force someone else to beat you. For Central Arkansas, in that possession, it worked out for the Dolphins.
Now, McCray. All kinds of footwork. He'll draw contact from Satius. That's what good players do. Able to absorb, draw something, gets the foul.
That first step is just so quick for McCray. He gets past Satius, has to rally back, and a little too much contact. 4th foul in the second half by the Bears.
Central Arkansas, only players in foul trouble. Ethan Thomas with 3. As McCray takes it out high now to Munson. Jackson wants another three. Off the backboard, no. And McCormick, he'll line up the three. Can't get that one to go either. Jacksonville the other way. Spence at the free throw line. Off the screen, kicks it back out high to McCray. Jackson off the handoff, knocks down another one. My goodness, from Kent Jackson.
Kent Jackson saying, I may be Clark Kent, but I'm turning into Superman right now. 4 3-pointers, and the run extended 15-4 spurt by the Dolphins.
All Jackson needs now is a cape. McCormick battling through. Nice find underneath and a really tough finish against Steph Payne. McCormick straight to the rack.
Central Arkansas needed that. That's a run stopper there. Get a bucket and a quick timeout. We'll need a lot more of that, but you're always looking for that secondary scorer for Jacksonville. They don't have a player that averages double figures other than McCray. And tonight, Jackson doubling up his career high, 4 of 5 from deep.
The big thing for the Dolphins has been the three-point shooting. 45% from deep, 9 of 20 for the game. That's what's allowed them to balloon things out a little bit to 12. But take a look at the game for Kent Jackson. He's just making it rain.
And he's doing spurts. He hit 2 in almost consecutive order back in the first half and does the same thing here in the second half. Those role players turn into the lead scorer, at least for the time being, for Jacksonville. He's got 12.
And Jacksonville, we've already mentioned, they know how important this game is because they've got 3 more on the road. Got to take one at a time. And they've not lost on the road. They would improve to 6-0 in the conference in road games. They have 3 straight on the road after this. They come out 9-0 at the end of that stretch, my goodness, they're likely going to be the 1 seed.
Yeah, if they come through that stretch unscathed, that's what you call a regular season conference champion.
You got to imagine Robert McCray is going to have a large part in that as Nehemiah Turner sends that one into the seats.
3rd block of the night for Turner, and he sends that one into the high-dollar seats here inside the Ferris Center.
Not in my house, says Nehemiah Turner, and then he wants that one as it's tipped off of his arm. Turner thought it might go off of Rivers, but he didn't get the call. I think we're seeing the full Nehemiah Turner. We've seen lots of it throughout the year as it's wore on, but tonight he is playing lights out.
Just the confidence that you've seen grow in the freshman over the last 3 weeks or so, with Cato being out, Elias Cato, as McCray buries a triple. But Turner, just the growth of the extended minutes you're starting to see. But when you've got an experienced scorer like McCray, it's tough to get back into it if you're Central Arkansas.
UCA's defense has not been half bad, but they have struggled offensively against the zone. And that 3 ball from McCray extends the lead out to 15 for Jacksonville. That's now their largest.
5 players have knocked down a 3 now for Jacksonville. They're 9 of 20. JB Brazil shows off the good hands.
I don't know if I can knock down a half-court shot.
I'll let it fly. What's the worst they can do? Kick you out?
We'll see where the ball's at. There we go.
That was a good pass, though.
Well, thank you. I don't get the assist, though, because they didn't shoot it.
You may not be on the roster, but you're number 1 in your mom's heart.
I'm glad I'm number 1 in someone's heart. Ethan Thomas with the basketball now for Central Arkansas. They need a bucket. Jacksonville's defense has been legit. Turner trying to give it to him. That one won't go, though, and McCray's got it looking to push. In transition, Bell to Jackson, the ball fake. And he'll get the floater off the window. The bank is open.
Break up the Kent Jackson show here in Central Arkansas. 20 minutes north of Little Rock, and the Jacksonville native making this one look like at home. 14 points for the freshman.
You just can't beat a post-game burger at McDonald's, right? And you can't beat the Angel Reese special. All right, let's break it down. It's a quarter pounder with my favorite barbecue sauce, American cheese, crispy bacon, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun. Get the Angel Reese special at McDonald's. What are you waiting for?
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a $309 per month lease on a 2025 Civic Sport Hybrid Sedan.
Whoa! Okay, it's Eli Manning, and this is a new Easy Squeeze bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch. It's so precise and easy to use, I was able to autograph this. Pick up a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch Easy Squeeze and make every pizza your signature pizza.
Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm. Easy to grip and massage in the power of 2 max strength pain relievers. Ice works fast, heat makes it last. Icy Hot Pro Massaging Balm.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Well, the Atlantic Sun busy on a Thursday night. It was Queens knocking off Bellarmine in extra time. 92-87, a thriller there. That puts Queens now at 9-4 in the year, which is a half game back of Jacksonville as it stands right now. If Jacksonville wins, they'll move back to a game ahead. North Alabama knocks off North Florida. That's a team right there tied with Jacksonville for first. As we will resume action, 8:04 to play in the basketball game. Bears trailing by 17.
Jacksonville in the midst of a 20-6 run. UCA had cut it to 3, but the Dolphins flexing the muscles and creeping towards picking up another road win.
It's been the defense as they get the knockaway. Rivers steals it from Satius. Goes up with the left hand through contact. Gets it to go, and the Dolphins up 19.
Jacksonville hasn't applied this pressure the entire game, but when they do turn it up, Central Arkansas's guards have really struggled to handle it out near the top of the key. It'll lead to some easy buckets in transition.
15 turnovers against UCA in the game. A good bit over their average already. Still plenty of time left, and UCA's going to mount that comeback. They got to get going.
Yeah, you mentioned the turnovers, JB. That's led to 20 points off of those turnovers for Jacksonville, and that's the margin we have right now.
But that's what the defense does, right? That's their MO. Jacksonville, good defense, leads to points off turnover, and they've certainly executed.
They'd rather play to 60 than 90. Defense that likes to slow it down, grind it out, make you earn everything.
Ethan Thomas, good effort. Didn't get the board, but it got tipped around. Fox, the corner, triple! Ring it up!
Fourth three-pointer for Ben Fox. All from that far sideline from our vantage point, trying to will Central Arkansas back in it.
That is Ben Fox's spot. He needs to put like his signature. It's already Scottie Pippen court, but Ben Fox has got his spot over there in the corner. Makari Spence gets it underneath to Rivers, too easy. Boxed his man in, and Rivers high off the glass.
Nice job, use the big frame by Rivers. And we got a legal screen in the backcourt.
Cole McCormick, a little bit moving screen. Bell's a little bit banged up there. Coach Mincy getting his player calls. Hey, we don't need anything. I know it's frustrating. You took that contact, but keep everything in check. Coach Mincy's a great coach, great class. Fourth-year guy, and he's done wondrous things with the program. I mean, goodness, you look at those two losses to North Florida, a three-point loss late, and then Florida Gulf Coast. They overcame a 24-point lead against Jacksonville. They were that close to being in sole possession of first if they knocked off those two. Wokeji underneath with the double. Turner gets the block. It'll be out of bounds, and they'll stay with Jacksonville. But Nehemiah Turner, another block underneath.
Turner's been a wall underneath and does a nice job not to leave his feet there. Might have caught some contact with the forearm, but no call. Credits him with another block.
They get it in. Zach Bell, the ball fake. Now he'll float it up. Nothing but net.
Bell does a great job of understanding the 6'10 Turner is waiting for him. So this throws a little floater from the middle of the lane. He gets the teardrop to fall.
Now McCormick trying to lob it up for Turner. It's sent right back to him. Dearman, ball fake. Thomas, left wing, three, off the side. No, and McCormick, the offensive rebound. Fox is in his spot, but he can't get it to go.
It's one of the few times tonight we've seen Fox not knock one down from the corner.
On the other end, flying high was Spence, wouldn't get it to go. Turner's got the board. By the way, his 4 blocks tonight ties a career high. He had 4 against West Georgia. Ben Fox lets it fly, and he buries it.
Ben Fox, the second time in the last 3 weeks that he's knocked down 5 3-pointers. Also did it against West Georgia.
Gonna need a lot more of that with 5.5 to go. Bears trailing by 17 to a very good Jacksonville team. Now floating off the glass, Spence gets it to go through contact.
Goes right through the middle of Thomas, uses the physicality, and finishes off the window.
They're trying to kick it out into the corner to Owen Dearman, but it's good defense, active hands for Jacksonville. Looks like it'll stay with UCA as Arias gets set now to check back in.
UCA's got a big run in him. They've got to put it together now. They're starting to run out of time.
Seixas having a great night. He's got 10 points. Career high is 13, so he's close to that.
Central Arkansas has not led in this contest.
Jacksonville jumped out 4-0 early, and they've really never looked back. UCA cut it close to 5 at half, but thus far it has been all Jacksonville in the second half. Turner's got an opening, and he throws it down.
Woo! No give up in the big man. Gets great positioning, shows the soft hands on the catch. Rips down the rim.
They might need to go check the rim after the next stoppage of play. That was some authority from Nehemiah Turner. Jakari Spence looking baseline, got a man. Corner 3, Arias, nothing but net from the corner.
That's good ball movement, a really good possession there. And Arias left wide open and buries it.
20-point lead now for Jacksonville, their largest. They'll swing things around. Turner, touch pass McCormick, trying to beat the zone. He wants the 3. Big fella, it's pure.
Why not for the big man, right? He's going to leave me wide open. I'll show the defense. He hits a 3.
Oh, my goodness. Nehemiah Turner showing everybody what he's got. If you're a big guy that can knock down 3s, that's almost impossible to guard. Because as a 5, you're going to have to guard him from everywhere. Okagee, step back, the handle. Oh, he knocks down the 3 as well.
We're starting to see an offensive clinic in what was the defensive slugfest. Both teams knocking down shots as we're creeping towards the final minute, or the final media timeout, I should say.
That was impressive from Okagee. Creating his own shot. Now Turner trying to go one-on-one with Rivers, and he's fouled, driving inside. 3:11 to go. Dolphins up big in the Ferris.
University of Central Arkansas delivers more than you ever imagined. So many programs, lots of housing options, top facilities, and opportunities for the future. All more accessible than ever. In fact, Arkansas students now have a debt-free pathway for tuition and fees with the UCA commitment. So, what do you say? Welcome to Bear Country. Get started today.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above. Where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark. Where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness. Where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. Join us Because we're not just a stop along the journey. The Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Welcome back to the Ferris Center. JB Brazil, Bobby Swamper, the rest of our ESPN Plus crew. Glad you've been with us and joining us for some Thursday night action in the Atlantic Sun. It was 32-27 at the half. Pretty close. UCA had cut into the lead a little bit, but the Dolphins, they got their halftime message, and they have delivered in the second half.
UCA got within 3 here in the second half, but Jacksonville was able to answer that mini run from UCA to start the second half, and they've really turned it on in the last 10 minutes or so. They've done it on the inside, and more importantly, they've done it defensively.
They nearly get the steal. McCormick up and under, no, through contact, gets his own miss. Basket counts, and he's going to the line.
It's a great job to stick with it. Misses the first opportunity, but it initiates the contact on the punt back. Chance of the three-point play.
Take another look at this one, though. It was nearly stolen away. Jackson tipped it out, but it went right to McCormick. Then he fights for the and one. UCA on the game, shooting 41% from the field. That's not half bad. 10 of 15 from the free throw line. They knocked down 7 triples. The problem, though, is Jacksonville's shooting 55% from the field and 52% from 3.
Yeah, Central Arkansas is having one of their better shooting nights in recent history. And you mentioned the 1 for 21 effort from the three-point line against Queens a couple weeks ago. They struggled to shoot the basketball, but more importantly, they struggled to get stops tonight. 75 points against a team that's allowing nearly 80 a game.
And when you give up 12 of 23 from three-point land, that's just tough to overcome. UCA, one of the last in the league in three-point defense. Now Zach Bell hands it off to Chris Arias. Shot clock winding down. OKG, deep 3, too strong. Offensive board, Munson, too easy with the putback.
Yeah, it's just the strength there of Munson. Muscles through Thomas, and an easy lay-in.
Looks like they're going to have to reset the shot clock. That he didn't do so after the made buckets, so UCA will have it on the sideline as Donovan Rivers getting set to check back in. I don't think really the score indicates how close this game was at times. In here, it just didn't take long at all here of late. Jacksonville going on a big spurt with a lot of made buckets. That's what's allowed this to balloon out to 20.
What was the three-point contest? And again, another turnover there on the bad entry pass from Central Arkansas. You're right, though. I mean, UCA is within 3. They've got a chance to maybe make things interesting, but instead Jacksonville answers with a big road run, and that's what you have to do to continue to stay in the win column on the road in this conference.
Usually there's 3 big scoring runs in basketball. Jacksonville had the first one. They went out up by double digits. UCA had that second one to creep a little bit closer in the first half and then even into the second half, but Jacksonville's gotten the last laugh. A big run here looking like to close out the second half, and it's likely going to be the difference.
And I think the depth is what really catches up with Central Arkansas. We've mentioned a couple times in the broadcast of how short-handed they are.
Yeah.
And it shows the last 15 minutes of the second half. It looks like a team that's, doesn't have as many bullets in the chamber as their opposition, and it's showing up on the offensive end, and turnovers have really started them out in the last 5 minutes.
Well, you can also tell they've been their best tonight when Nehemiah Turner's been on the floor, but due to heavy legs, he's had to come out. Offense has sputtered a little bit. And you just can't have him out on the floor the whole time. It's just not feasible when he's not been conditioned throughout the year. A valiant effort, but it's going to fall short as KG's 3 won't go. And Vagaru the rebound with 1:30 to go.
And you're looking at a team that's without 33 points of combined production between Lane Taylor and Elias Cato. The 2 guys they rely on as Turner muscles up and finishes. I mean, you can't talk about the ifs because injuries are part of college basketball. But Central Arkansas has been bit by the injury bug probably harder than anybody else in this conference, and maybe one of the most teams in the country as far as minutes lost because of injury to key players.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think something that you don't think about, but UCA had their preseason games, knocked off one of the best teams in the SWAC and Grambling State. Obviously doesn't count on their record, but you got to also consider guys that didn't come in to start this season, didn't have any points to contribute that would have been heavy scores. Ty Robinson would have been a high score. Tyler Lee, Javian Guy King. I mean, there's a lot of firepower that this team is missing.
You know, people are going to look at the overall record for Central Arkansas and assess that to Coach John Schulman, but it's not a true apples to apples comparison. It's like to give him a grade on this season, you almost have to give him an incomplete because of the injuries you just mentioned. He didn't really get a fair shake at his full roster. We'll see what he can do in year two. Obviously, into the transfer portal, you never know if all those players are going to come back. Lane Taylor obviously is going to draw some attention from across the country, and we'll see what Ty Robinson decides to do. Javion Guy King, see if he gets eligible from the NCAA. There's Elias Cato is going to be out of eligibility. So it's like, what happens for this roster? It could look completely different, or it could look very similar, and the hopes would be high for those fans here in Conway.
Well, Coach Schulman, high praise from him across the land. UCA feels like they've got their guy. The final 30 seconds, J.D. Roberts out on the floor for Central Arkansas, and Maximus Fuentes, the junior from Miami, Florida, out there for Jacksonville as well. An 18-point lead for the Dolphins. There's a big three from Ding. Can't get it to go. Tito Ding, excuse me, in as well for Jacksonville. And there's a three ball from Owen. Dearman gets it to go with 7 seconds left. It cuts the lead to 15, but it will be a little bit too late as Jacksonville comes to Conway and knocks off the Bears. They're 6-0 all time against Central Arkansas, and they improved to 16-9 on the year, 10-3 in conference.